Well, hello there, you lovely human. It's my life here, and I'm here to talk to you today about why trans women are women. Now, I realize this might be a difficult concept for people to wrap their head around, but it's not really that difficult. Basically, there are some people in this world that have this false conceptualization of what trans women are and of who trans women are, rather. And I feel that this is really misguided in that most people who have this conceptualization, this false concept of who and what trans women are misinformed, and they probably have never met a trans woman in their life. The reason why I'm only speaking about trans women is because I'm one myself, so I can't really speak on behalf of trans men, but I believe the concept still applies to them as well. However, the truth is, more times than not, we're hearing about trans women being killed and murdered for one reason or another, usually out of anger or frustration or just simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we hear about this a lot more than we do about trans men being killed. And I'm sure it still happens, but what does that all mean? Why do I feel the need to bring up the fact that trans women are women? And it should make perfect sense, but the need to discuss this is very, very important because women like myself are being killed. Men may feel angry when they find out that we aren't what we seemed to advertise. And, the whole idea of advertising and being open about who we are is still a very iffy thing. We have to protect ourselves for this very reason. If we don't protect ourselves, we run the risk of being outright discriminated by, outright not given a chance, or just outright killed out of rage and confusion. And it's usually by a man. And again, it's not just black women, it's not just black trans women, it's white women as well, of all races, but black trans women are being killed more times than not for one reason or another. I mean, just like any other woman, we need to make sure that that the people who are in our lives are people that we can trust. And when we can't trust someone, or if we're just meeting someone for the first time, then it makes sense to not just outright say, oh hey, look, I'm a trans woman, you should probably know that right off the bat, because a lot of people are just closed-minded to the idea of engaging with a trans woman in any shape or form, whether it be casually, platonically, or sexually. It's still very much an issue that we face, and we have to protect ourselves as women to make sure that that we're not only safe, but we're given a chance. And that applies to not only relationships, but also in the workplace. We always feel the need to just come off the way that we want to come off and let people know that that we are women first and foremost, whether we're trans or not, whether we have what's in between our legs doesn't even matter. It's not even an issue. We can get into that, and that can be another topic for another time. But we're women regardless of the circumstances. Whether we're pre-surgery or post-surgery, we're women through and through, and we wouldn't go through the trouble of presenting ourselves as women in our everyday lives if it wasn't a real thing that is truly who we are. Now, when it comes to romance, since I'm sure this is a very, very hot topic with a lot of people, when it comes to trans women being women, I would think that a lot of guys tend to accept that fact, at least in the beginning. When they meet us, I'm sure that most guys are very taken by us. they find us very attractive. They're willing to talk to us. And as women, we kind of go with it, and it makes perfect sense. But when other things come up, when things kind of escalate, we have to be mindful of that, and we have to protect ourselves as trans women, but also as women as well. And it's just a very, very common thing that seems to be overlooked, that just because we're trans women doesn't mean that we should be treated with any less respect or have any lesser place in the world than women fortunate enough to have the sex gene for being female. That doesn't change who we are, and to be excluded in any shape or form is hurting females in general, because like people like me, like people look at me and they see a woman, and that's a fortunate thing for me. But there are trans women who aren't so fortunate, who are struggling every day to justify who they are just because of what people see on the outside, and this shouldn't be the case. And this is why I feel that it's important to always remember that that regardless of when you meet a trans woman, if you find out that a female happens to be transgender, it's very, very important to know that we are still just the same as everyone else. We have different experiences. All of us have different experiences. The female experience is wide and varied, and we should not be excluded from that. And you know, I'm not trying to make this just a trans power video. What I'm trying to do is share with you guys, from my perspective, that it's very, very important to be mindful, not just with men, not just with men in our lives, but also with the women in our lives. That trans women are still women, regardless of where we come from and what we've been through. I feel that there are still some women out there who do not accept trans women as women. I believe they're called TERFs, and I'm not going to go into a whole spiel about that, but basically, because that group of women feel that trans women have lived a different life because they were born male, they feel that they should be excluded. They feel that we should not be included in the things that involve women who are, happen to be naturally born as women. And again, as I said before, I feel that this mindset hurts a lot of the progress that women have made over the many, many decades overall. And I personally feel that trans women have something special to add to the conversation, because we're very, very unique, but at the same time we seek to be a part of the community, be a part of the female experience, and to basically be deemed irrelevant because of how we lived or how we were born initially does more harm than good. The idea of trans women being women applies not just to the violence that we face with men attacking us when they find out that we're trans, or for one reason or another, but also with the women who have issue with who we are as individuals, as women who are seeking to be a part of the conversation. So this is just meant to be a reminder to everyone who has never met a trans woman before. Hello, you're looking at one right now, and well, you're meeting me right now, so hello. And for everyone else, for those who may have it just slip their mind in the midst of doing what they do in their everyday lives, just remember that regardless of who you meet, You may very well be meeting a trans woman that you sit next to on a train. You could be sitting next to one, you could be meeting one, you could find one attractive, or be changing with one in the locker room. That's basically who we are, and we're not out to, we're not out to make people's lives a living hell, or to scare people, or to, make people think ill of us. We are not trying to draw attention to ourselves, but those of us who have chosen to speak out and be open with their transness, it's important to realize that we are all in this together. So thank you all for watching. I hope that this was important to you, that you got something out of this. And if you have any questions for me, you can leave them in the comments below. I love to hear from you, and I definitely want to hear from you. So please don't hesitate to give me your feedback. And I look forward to answering your comments sooner or later. So thanks again for watching. If you would like to follow what I do, or just follow me on social media, you can find all of my links in the description below. Until next, you wonderful people.